Do you want to play a game? Podcast.
They're here.
Welcome to Blood, Gore, and Ghouls Horror Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Ian Van Gogh. As we near the end of 2023 and head into a fresh start in 2024, I want to take a moment and thank you all for listening, watching, downloading, following, subscribing, and sharing our podcast. I appreciate every single one of you. We're 22 episodes in now. Every single one is still a learning experience for me, but the amount of positive feedback that I've received so far has been amazing. And definitely keeps me motivated to keep improving and strive for bigger and better things for the show in the new year. If you haven't checked out any or all of our social media platforms, please do so. It's an easy way to stay up to date on news and topics for the show, ask questions, give feedback, or even provide subjects for things that you'd like to hear about on the show. So give us a follow on Instagram at Blood, Gore, and Ghouls _podcast. Join the Facebook group, Blood, Gore, and Ghouls Podcast. Join our Discord community, the Ghoul Squad. Send us an email at bggpodcast@gmail.com. Check out our brand new merch at ghoulsquadshop.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Ian Van Gogh. And last but not least, for all of our audio listeners out there, be sure to hit that follow button wherever you're listening to this. Give us a 5-star rating and even a little review if you're so inclined. Doing any or all of that will greatly help push us out further and further into the vast podcast world and help new friends find us. Again, thank you all for everything that you've done to help support the show, and I'm very excited to see what we can do together in 2024. Now, without further ado, let's get into our final episode of 2023. Now, you may recognize my guest tonight from episode 11, where we talked about our favorite horror movie directors. He's back today to talk about his favorite horror movies of 2023. Please welcome back to the show, my brother, TomotoV3.
This is the way.
Here's Matt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Right?
Yeah, that was sick.
Ooh,
Glad to be back.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back, brother.
Oh,
How
yeah.
you been?
Anytime. Pretty good. Just made it through the holidays.
Right?
But doing pretty good overall.
Nice.
Yep.
So how was 2023 for you as a whole?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just got married, so
Right?
that's a pretty big stepping stone. So
Yeah, that was like right before you were on last time.
Yeah.
And we just didn't talk about it at
Yeah.
all.
yeah, it was, and people of the podcast probably appreciate. We got married on October 13th, Friday the 13th. So
Oh yeah.
did that on purpose.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was stoked to be a part of it there. And hell yeah, congratulations,
Thank you.
brother. But yeah, it's been a wild year, but a good one overall, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a good year for horror movies, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So there's not really much in the way of news for this week. Most news sites I saw are just kind of giving their reviews of 2023, best of, and everything like that. So not much to report on there, but staying tuned in 2024. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of news hitting us here in the next few weeks. But yeah, tonight was kind of I was going to say the best of 2023, but neither one of us have seen every single horror movie that was released this year. And who's to say what the best is?
Right.
So I figured we go our favorites of the year. It'd be a lot more fitting. And yeah, we can kind of just, I don't know, list off or go over our favorites of the year, why they're our favorites, what we enjoyed. We'll just fuck around and see what happens.
Yeah, sounds awesome. Yeah, definitely makes sense because you can't really say best of if you haven't seen everything. I definitely tried, but there was a lot that I missed.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's some pretty big ones. Thanksgiving, neither one of us have seen. The one that I keep hearing about is as the quote best of the year is Godzilla -1.
Yeah, would you consider that a horror movie though?
I mean,
I know a lot
that's
of people
one of
have.
those. Yeah, it's lumped into horror.
Yeah,
It's definitely one of those, like, if it happened in real life, it'd definitely be a horrifying situation.
yeah. I've been trying to keep away from spoilers, but I think mainly from what I hear a little bit, but this one leans a little bit more on the scary side than
Okay.
usually, or at least compared to the American ones.
Right, yeah. Yeah, those ones I definitely wouldn't say are horror,
Yeah.
but yeah, this one I don't know anything about, but I keep hearing really good things about it. So
Yeah.
one of these days I'll get around to checking it out. But yeah, do you want to kick things off? And I don't know if you want to go down your list or throw some honorable mentions out? Oh.
Yeah, I figured I'd probably start out with a few honorable mentions just to get them out of
Yeah.
the way quickly. I only have a couple there. Exorcist Believer. I enjoyed it. I know it's a mixed bag for some people. Definitely compared to the original. I thought it was really good. It wasn't super scary.
Right.
But I enjoyed it overall. I thought what it added to the mythos of the whole series was pretty cool. One that probably not a lot of people have seen, Influencer. That's on Shudder. Have you seen that?
I have.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was very different. Knock at the Cabin, and Late Shyamalan, John. I like that. The reason I didn't put it on like my favorite list is I think they gave too much information in the trailers.
Right.
Like if they kept the big twist was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like if it was kind of more of like you don't know through the whole thing whether they're just crazy people or some shit's actually happening, but like you knew from the start just based off the trailer. So
right.
But I thought the acting was really good. Dave Bautista was awesome in it.
Right. Yeah. But you can't go wrong with Bautista.
Yeah. Totally Killer I have on honorable mention too. I thought that was fun. I mean, that was more of a horror comedy, so it wasn't really scary, but I thought it was fun, little throwback.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Hot Tub Time Machine kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I got the same vibes.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, that's basically how I had on my honorable mentions for that.
So mine, my honorable mentions, I have one I just watched the other day is Onyx the Fortuitous and Talisman of Souls. It almost made my top 5.
Really?
I did switch it out last minute, but it's not. It's definitely like it's a horror comedy, so it's not scary. There's not really any like blood and gore per se. But I really liked the character of Onyx.
Yeah.
He was just his whole personality and everything is he's like one of those if I knew him in real life, I'd probably want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Type deals.
Yeah, I don't know who the actor's name that plays him. But I follow him on social media a little bit. He seems like he's like a real big fan of horror in general. So like I feel like I definitely want to see it just because I feel like he would do a good job.
Absolutely, yeah. It was a good time, and it had Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton in it.
Okay,
so that's like their from my count. I went through and compared. I'm pretty sure that was their 5th movie together. So yeah, it's always a good time when either of them pop up in movies. But yeah, it was just a fun time. My next one, Cocaine Bear. Same reason, just a fun time.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know if I would have put it on my top list, but I forgot because I didn't really think of it as a horror movie, but it was really fun.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah. It was hilarious too.
Yeah,
Elizabeth Banks did a great job.
Absolutely, yeah. I really enjoyed that one. That was a fun time. A big one for me that also almost made my list was Monsters of California.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Tom DeLonge wrote and directed it. So as a movie, it's probably not the best, but I'm a little biased when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I should say I'm a lot of bias when it comes to that. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like a fun skate punk movie with a alien twist.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was fun. The ideas were fun. I'm definitely biased too because of Tom. Yeah, I didn't think the acting was very great, but overall, I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a low budget movie too, so I'm not, I wasn't expecting amazing acting either. So yeah, I was happy with it. I really enjoyed it. Pooh, Blood and Honey is on my honorable mention. When I did my review of it, I gave it a 5 out of 10, but it was a really fun 5.
Yeah.
Because you don't go into a movie called Pooh, Blood and Honey expecting anything.
Yeah.
I was expecting ridiculousness, blood and gore, and more blood and gore.
Yeah.
And I got exactly what I wanted. So all these people like giving it really harsh reviews and talking shit on it. Like, what did you expect?
Yeah.
It's some
of those movies you go in to know exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I wasn't expecting anything scary, anything amazing.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun time. Megan is on my list. That was the first horror movie of 2023 that I went to theaters to see.
Yeah, same.
And I really enjoyed it. I know it gets compared to Chucky and all that, but like, I mean, you get those vibes a little bit, but I thought it was pretty cool for what it was.
Yeah.
It didn't really make me feel like it was ripping off Chucky or anything like that.
Yeah.
If anything, it's a better version of the shitty Chucky remake. So
Yeah.
I was into it. My last two here. So I'll go with The Wrath of Becky. I really enjoyed that one. Have you seen the first Becky movie?
I have. I've been meaning to see the second one, but I haven't had a chance. I don't even know where I can watch it at the moment.
Yeah, I think I had to buy. Did I buy it? No, it's on streaming. I have the first one on Vudu.
Yeah.
I'll look it up, but it's on a service. But yeah, it was also another really fun one.
Yeah, I like the whole thing that they do with that series where they get like a comedian actor
Mm-hmm.
to just come and be a villain.
Yeah, right.
And then at least in the first one, it paid off for sure. So.
Yeah, and this one's Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
And it's just as good.
Yeah.
I think I actually enjoyed this one more because the first one, it took me about half the movie to actually kind of like Becky.
Mm.
This one though, like right off the bat,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed her character.
You already know what she's about, like right from the jump.
Yeah, and she's already kind of in that world. So there wasn't much of a, I didn't have to wait for the character development to kind of bring me around to enjoying the character.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. My last one then is When Evil Lurks, and this is another one that's on like a lot of people's like #1 movie of the year, and it's a good movie.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay. So yeah, it's a good movie. It's a fucked up movie. And the reason I like it so much is because of all the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I wouldn't say it's the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
But again, who's to say?
Yeah. That's it's Korean. Is that
No, it is. Oh man, it's foreign, but it's not Asian at all. I forget what country it's from. But yeah, there's definitely some good fucked up shit, like good bloody gory scenes, but it wasn't enough for me to put it at the top 5 at all.
I definitely want to see it. It's on my list of shame that I didn't get a chance
List
to
of
get
shame.
to.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth checking out for sure. But yeah, so I got top 5. You have what, top 10, or do you have a top 5?
I do have a top 10.
All right.
I can shorten it down. If
No. Just we'll just do top 10, and I'll hop in at 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the last 5 I can kind of go through pretty quick. I do have Insidious: The Red Door as my number 10.
Okay.
Overall, I thought it was fine.
Mhm.
It was very, I don't know. I wasn't underwhelmed by it or anything, but I just thought it was just solid.
Mhm.
The reason I have it on my list is I like the series as a whole.
Right.
And I really like the characters. And I thought it was really good. It just felt like it was unnecessary. Pretty much. Like that story,
Yeah.
they didn't need to keep going with the story, even though I thought it was pretty good.
Right. No, I agree. And that, if I had a top 10 list, that would probably be on it as well.
Yeah.
Because I did, when I reviewed it, I gave it the same score as the first two. So like it's right up there with them for me. Unnecessary, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the fact that all the actors were back.
Yeah.
The story was okay.
Yeah.
It was probably the weakest part of it, but I did enjoy it overall. And what really kind of sealed the deal on that movie for me was the song on the closing credits.
Oh yeah.
Which is Ghost with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking amazing song.
And I had no idea he was a good singer.
Yeah, I didn't either until like I came across, like I heard the song, and then I'm like, that's Ghost.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and yeah, I found out that he's like a theatrically trained singer.
Yeah.
And he's producing the Lost Boys musical.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, there's that's in the works. We talked about it last week, but
That's pretty cool.
he's producing it, and I'm hoping he might play a role in it or something. Because yeah, he's fucking really good at singing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just really like Patrick Wilson too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have all the same feelings. There just wasn't really anything too new. Like at least with like the other ones, you kind of find out like in the second one that you find out that the dad's mind, his memories were taken away from that whole incident, and it kind of circles back. There wasn't really any like big reveal for this.
Right,
It was just happened. But I enjoyed it overall.
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of those movies like if we sat down and we could definitely pick it apart.
Yeah.
And bitch and complain about things, but as a movie, just watching it, it was fine.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. For number 9, I put Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay.
I really liked it. I don't really have any like pre-existing knowledge of Five Nights. I know
Mhm.
it's a thing. I was a little too old
Mhm.
for it whenever it came out, but I know it's like super popular. But even that's why I wanted to put it on my list without knowing anything about it. I really had a lot of fun. Like it wasn't like a super gory, mature movie by any means. I just thought it was really well done. I liked the whole animatronic concept. Matthew Lillard was great in it. I thought all the acting was really good. It was just fun.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah,
a good time
I
with it.
agree. Agree 100%. Yeah, I have never played the games, no real knowledge of it other than, seeing the characters and kind of having an idea about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another one. Like if you go into it expecting something, like the people that give it bad reviews, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is there's no blood and gore and blah blah blah. Like you're expecting
What else did you
this like
expect?
hard R adult movie when it's literally based on like a kid teenager type.
Yeah.
Like that's the demographic for it.
Right.
So like I knew that
Yeah.
going into it, so I wasn't expecting like I would love to see blood and gore, but
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. And I wanted to give it some props because I think it's a really good entryway for horror for kids.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like and just because it's good and it's not too over the top
Mhm.
with gore or mature themes or anything. I don't know. It's a great entryway.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, that's just as important as having cool hard R
Right.
gore, like good horror movies.
Yeah.
We need to have really good movies for people that don't like gore
Right.
or younger kids. Like
Yeah.
that kind of gateway movies. So yeah, they're just as important. And yeah, I thought it was a solid movie for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to be running out to play the games or anything, but I would look forward to a sequel.
Oh,
Which I
yeah.
think that they're trying to turn in like a whole franchise.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely be
Yeah.
there for the second
Yeah, I
one.
think Lillard signed on for like 3 or 4 of them or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, my stepson's not quite old enough yet. Like he's probably close,
Mhm.
but by the time they start making more, he'll be old enough, and it'll be
Oh,
something
yeah.
fun to enjoy with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Um, my number 8, I have There's Something Wrong with the Children.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this movie. Have you seen it?
I have.
I knew nothing about it. I was just going through Shudder one day and happened to see it on there, and I thought it looked interesting. But it was really fun. I thought it was really different.
Mhm.
I thought all the acting was really good. But I didn't really have any expectations going into it. I just thought it looked like a fun horror movie. What really got me the most, the kids creep me out first of
Mhm.
all. Like
Oh, yeah.
anytime creepy kids are being creepy on screen, it's but like the main thing is they were like making it seem like the main character was like nuts or
Mhm.
being awful, and that's like one of my main fears is like some kid saying I did something awful that I didn't do. And
Oh,
like you
yeah.
can't really like everyone's, and as you should take the kid's word for it.
Right.
But like that's just always been like a big fear of mine is like getting wrapped up into something that I had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
So that one really freaked me out. Yeah, and I like through the whole way, like movies kind of like those lower budgets can sometimes fall apart towards the end, but I thought like it was just a fun, solid horror movie. And
Mhm.
the whole way through, I
Yeah.
really liked it.
Yeah, I agree. That was like when I started 2023, I had a whole list. I went through like every theatrical horror movie
Yeah.
that was going to come out. I had a list that I was trying to hit up like every single one. Of course, it didn't happen, but I got most of them. But that was one that might have been like one of the first ones that I wanted to check out,
hmm
and just didn't. I just wasn't able to. So yeah, once it hit Shutter, I definitely checked it out, and yeah, it was it's not amazing, but yeah, it was a cool little horror movie. Don't really have too much to say about it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I dug it.
For sure. For number 7, I'm gonna go with Boogeyman. I really liked half of this movie. Like the beginning, like up till you kind of get more of a reveal of what the Boogeyman is, I
Mhm.
thought it was awesome. Like that whole like dark stuff. Like growing up, I was always kind of creeped out by the dark and like just stuff like that, like
Right.
spooky, not knowing what it is, like what's going on. I thought it was all awesome, and it was like really, really creepy until you see it, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, what? It looks like some weird alien,
Yeah.
and it just really took me out of the movie. I mean, after seeing it, the movie was still good. It was just the Boogeyman itself. Just after seeing it and seeing it running around and being weird and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. What do you think?
Kind of the same. Started off not too bad, but yeah, it lost me pretty hard. I was by the end of it, I was not a fan at all of it. It's based on a story by Stephen King,
Mm-hmm.
which I hadn't read,
Me
but I
either.
looked it up after the movie because I was curious, like,
Mm-hmm.
because some of the Stephen King adaptations are pretty close,
Yeah.
and other ones are not at all. This is one that's not. They took the kind of basis of the story, and then they made a whole other story
Mm-hmm.
based on that.
Gotcha.
So anyone listening, if you've seen The Boogeyman, and I guess if you're a fan of it or not, definitely check out the Stephen King story, because just I looked up like the kind of basic summary of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish they would have done that for the movie,
Yeah.
because it would have been a whole they could have done a really cool shit with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the actors in the movie were great. But yeah,
Yeah.
the movie just was not for me, at least.
Yeah. There was enough entertaining parts for it to be, number 7 on my list for sure. That kind of makes sense what you're saying. Like they added stuff to it. It's like they've made a ton of Stephen King adaptations. The whole point of Stephen King is his stories are awesome, but
Right.
when you want to add your own stuff into it, that's not really a good
Yeah,
mix.
it was just a weird. Like I could see, doing like one of the more popular ones. Like if they did, I wouldn't want it, but if they did like the Shining, they did like if Doctor Sleep didn't exist, like if they had done that,
Yeah.
like a kind of took the original story, but then kind of did their own thing with it,
Yeah.
maybe, because it's such a well known thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to take like this, like I'm sure like Stephen King fans know the story,
Yeah.
but I'm not as versed in his stories outside of like the big ones.
I mean, I'm a pretty big Stephen King fan. I collect all his books and ever watch any movie that's based on him. I didn't even hear about the story before this movie came out.
Yeah,
So
there we go.
yeah.
But yes, so yeah, taking one like that already has like a real, like I said, at least from the summary that I read, had a pretty solid story, and then to just kind of ignore that
Yeah.
and make like kind of take that as your idea and then make a whole other
Yeah.
thing, it was just weird.
It would have been cool, like if they ever did like an anthology show, like series based on Stephen King short stories. Like this would have been a great like 35-40 minute like episode or something.
Yeah, and that's if I'll bring it up after the show here. But yeah, if they would have taken like the original story, it probably would have been great as like a short story, a short film.
Yeah, do you know which book it's from? Is it Bleeds?
No, I'm not sure offhand.
Because I think I have the book, but I'm letting my wife's mom borrow it. She's a big Stephen King fan, so that's why I haven't had a chance to read the story yet.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up after this, but yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd say they definitely missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because at least like I said, for me, it's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. 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 I can see that for sure. I had at least had enough. The parts that didn't take me out were good enough for me to kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that enjoy it, so
Yeah.
you don't have to feel bad that you like it and I don't. It's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Moving on to my number 6, I have Cobweb.
Okay.
Really liked it. It was basically like you think it's one thing starting, and then by the time you get to like the big twists and reveals, it turns into a completely different movie.
Right.
I did think I had it higher on my list, but I just moved it down a little bit. Like I thought it was really fun, really creepy. All the acting was great. Lizzie Kaplan, awesome in it. Anthony Starr was great. Even the kid was awesome. We're probably trying to avoid spoilers with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For since it's this year, yeah.
What I'll say is when the movie takes a turn, it was awesome. That whole twist was sick.
Yeah.
And everything after that twist was just a whole hell of a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, same. It's on my list, a little higher up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we won't delve too much into it, but yeah, I agree. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, what was that, 6?
Yeah.
What's number 5 for you?
My number 5 is Megan.
Okay,
I
here we go.
really had a lot of fun with
Yeah.
Megan. Me and my wife Sarah went to the movie. Like you said, that was probably the first horror movie I saw in the theater
Mhm.
this year. Um, I didn't have high expectations, but also didn't have low expectations.
Mhm.
Usually, I'm pretty big on Blumhouse movies, so like I knew it was probably going to at least be quality. But I just thought it was really fun. It wasn't super scary. It was just all I can really explain it as is fun.
Yeah.
The Megan character was super creepy.
Yeah.
Um, Creeped me the hell out. That little dance that she does
Right.
in the movie, like anything with dolls, just kind of really creeps me out. And that's the same with my wife. She, I think she might have been a little bit more creeped out than I was, which is a good thing. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was a lot of fun. I think I heard they might be doing a sequel to
Mhm.
that too, which would I definitely be down for. Um, yeah, just had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
Definitely a good way to start the year off for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Same. Like I said, it was the first one I saw. I think that was the first big release
Yeah.
of the year. So yeah, typically with movies, they kind of save the ones they're not sure about
Mhm.
for January releases.
Yeah.
So yeah, going into it, it looked cool from the trailer.
Hmm.
But yeah, my expectations weren't very high for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. I really, really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
and they also didn't take themselves too seriously with it either.
Mm-mm.
They knew exactly what it was,
Yeah.
and that's why I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was kind of killer doll, but in present day with our current technology. And
Yeah, and like a lot of people do, I have seen compare it to Chucky. I didn't really pick up those. It was definitely different enough that it didn't feel like just another creepy doll movie.
Right,
Which
yeah.
that's why I think I liked it a lot.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I agree. Because yeah, I mean, with Chucky, it's a killer doll, but it's also the soul of a person.
yeah,
So it's it's a little bit different than just a killer doll. And yeah, this one just had a whole different vibe to it.
yeah, and it's perfect timing just because everything with AI is kind of taken off.
Hmm.
Very questionable future, but like horror movies is like the best place to kind of put your ideas of what things might happen.
Right.
And that's how it's kind of always been. I don't think it was ahead of its time. I think it was right in the time.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of AI, and I mean I don't know how off the rails things could eventually get, but I could totally see like an AI being smart enough and this doing something like this. So like it
Right.
as far fetched as the movie was, it also kind of seemed realistic at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, it's a movie, so like, yeah, can't be like, yeah, that could totally happen, but at the same time, yeah, it's very kind of the time.
Yeah.
Feels very current, and yeah, I could definitely,
I think it'll age well too
yeah,
because of that.
yeah, yeah. It was just a all around good time. Let's see. So mine aren't really in any particular order. I just had my five favorites from the year. Um, so with mine too, since I'm watching movies every day, I didn't get a chance to kind of rewatch any of these,
Yeah, same.
which usually will either kind of solidify the fact that I really like it, or it'll work the opposite. And I'll think I really liked it the first watch, and then second watch is not so
Yeah.
much. So hopefully these all still hold up.
Yeah.
But I'll just say, so my number five is Talk to Me. And it's one that I didn't like. I enjoyed it when I saw it, and you haven't seen it yet.
Have.
You have?
I have,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 on the reviews, which is decent. Um, so I liked it enough, but it wasn't one. I think there was too much hype for it. I think that's what kind of killed it for me.
Mhm.
Because everyone was talking about it, and it was like the scariest movie of the year. Blah blah blah. What they always say. So I didn't think it was overly original. It felt kind of like I don't know, like It Follows type, that kind of vibe.
Mhm.
Uh, but I put it on this list because it was an honorable mentions. But I put it on as top five, or my number five, because it's one that have thought about since I've watched it,
Oh yeah.
and like I want to rewatch it. I just haven't gotten the time to do it. So I really like the idea of it. I really like the hand.
Mhm.
Um,
That's definitely going to be an iconic thing for
yeah,
horror.
yeah. And again, it's another one that if we sat down and took it scene by scene, we could probably rip it apart.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like not really overly enjoyable.
Right.
I'd rather just, either like it or not like it so much. So I think it's one that the more I watch it, I will enjoy it more. So I threw it on there. So Talk to Me is number 5 for me.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of pick up that because it's my number 4.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
I really liked it, but it's similar to what you were saying. I think it was the hype. It was lower, like multiple spaces lower on my top 10.
Okay.
But the more I've thought about it and just keep thinking about things that happened, it was slowly moving further and further up my list.
Yeah, right.
I think the hype for it was well earned, but I think that's kind of what I was overhyped just first watching it. But the more and more I think about it, I really enjoy it. I thought it was super original. That's and very different. The Hand was awesome. I thought all the actors in it were really good. And like the directors they're actually like 2 YouTubers.
Oh,
I
that's
think,
right.
and this is like their first like feature film, which for coming out and this being your first movie, hell yeah for them.
Yeah,
I think
right.
they're gonna do
True.
some really good things. But like the effects, like I've said in the last podcast I was on, the supernatural stuff is what creeps me out the most with horror movies, and they nailed it on the head. Like I'm just imagining doing something like that and then seeing some creepy like spirit like pop up right in front of me that no one else can see. But like also I'm like watching like these kids are super dumb, but like we probably would have did that if that was a thing.
Perhaps.
I've done some stupid shit when I was a teenager, especially peer pressure, everyone's partying and stuff like that. But yeah, it was super creepy in my opinion. So, but yeah, the more I think about it, I do want to watch it again. I've only watched it the one time, so I think the more I watch it, even more I'll really like it. So
yeah, usually with like I said, like with the movies, watching the movies, there's not a whole lot that really sticks with me. And I don't mean like in like a creepy way, just like in general, where I'm like, I really want to check that out, or like
Yeah.
I just kind of keep thinking about that movie. And like I said, initial watch, it was fine. But it's just keeps like I need to watch it again.
yeah.
So
What were you happy with the ending or?
yes. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure where they were going with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the ending I did enjoy. I will say it probably has the best opening scene of the year.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting any of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's another, I think that was my main issue with it, is because that opening scene is so good. And then we get like, I don't, probably 20-25 minutes of
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
And we're meeting these characters and shit. But
Yeah.
I was like, I was so like kind of high off that
Yeah.
opening that I wanted more.
Yeah.
And then it took so long to get to more crazy shit.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool theories about it too, which I can't really talk about much without spoiling anything. But that's always, it's a good movie when people are like speculating about little things online that what could be going on. Just as fun
Right,
talking
right.
about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely enjoy it the more I think about it. And like I said, I definitely want to watch it again. And I think I'll probably enjoy it more
Yeah.
for sure. So my number 4 is No One Will Save You. So this one just kind of came out of nowhere. Have you checked this out?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really unique, cool alien movie. And it was just another really good time. So definitely on my top 5 for the year.
Yeah. This is kind of working out perfectly, kind of how things are rolling a little bit because that's my number 3.
Shit.
I loved this movie.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get like first of all, this isn't really spoiling anything, but there's no dialogue.
Right.
Except for like one thing in this movie. There's no dialogue. And the actress that played the main character, which I'm ashamed to not have it written down. That's off the top of my head.
Right.
She crushed it.
Oh yeah.
She carried this whole movie without any dialogue or anything. Like she was a really fun character. I like the mystery that you have about what's going on because you kind of right off the bat, like the town isn't a big fan of her, and you kind of wonder why. I thought it was really cool how this like side story is kind of unwrapping throughout the whole movie. The aliens were sick.
Right.
I thought the whole, not even just being an alien movie, it was like a home invasion movie, which
Yeah.
was, I thought, was a cool twist on it.
Yeah.
The aliens themselves were awesome. I thought all of them were really good creature designs. The character herself, like most horror movies you're watching, you're like, why are you doing that? That's so stupid. Like, do this instead. Don't run upstairs.
Right.
I thought everything she did was really smart, realistic, and just, I don't know, like I said, just being the only actor in the whole movie without any dialogue, and being so good, that she crushed it. It was awesome for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very unique movie. And yeah, it's not like a kind of stereotypical alien movie or like a stereotypical home invasion. It's like
Yeah.
it's a little bit of everything,
Hmm.
and yeah, it works really well. Honestly, I didn't even realize like the no dialogue thing until after I watched the movie.
Really?
I was just so into it, I didn't
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
it. Didn't even like come to mind
Yeah.
that like nobody's talking.
Yeah. And like the one bit of dialogue is so much more impactful
Mhm.
because there's no talking for the rest of the film.
Right.
Um, and like I think like the side story, once you find out what actually happened, it was very satisfying.
Mhm.
I like that the ending was very open. You don't really have a definite "this is what's going on."
Right.
It kind of makes you think.
Mhm.
So I just, like, from start to finish, I just thought it was a fantastic
Yeah.
horror movie.
100%. Yeah, like I said, mine are all kind of interchangeable, but yeah, that I would maybe put that at number one.
Yeah,
But like I said, any of these five, I could probably put at number one.
yeah. I probably could shift my other ones up a bit, but my top three, I think, I'm pretty
solid.
set on those.
So say my three, I'm gonna, since they're all interchangeable, we already kind of mentioned it. I'm gonna throw a Cobweb in there,
Okay.
because it is one I want to say is my favorite of the year, but it's another one that I need to watch again. I think I was a little fucked up when I watched it the first
Yeah.
time. So I really, really enjoyed it. But it did like it's not perfect by any means. Once the kind of reveal thing happens, I thought kind of the effects weren't the best.
Mm-hmm.
That was my kind of complaint, but it wasn't enough to like drop it any lower on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, overall, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it's a really solid movie, and like I said, it could be number one, could be number two, could be number three. But yeah, it's top five regardless. So
Yeah, I mean, not all of these movies I would necessarily buy for my horror collection. I definitely will be picking up Cobweb for sure
Mhm.
to add that to the collection.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So yeah, what do you got?
So my number two, I'm gonna go with Scream 6.
Scream 6. All right.
Um, as like my last appearance on, I gushed about how much I love Scream and the whole franchise and everything. There is a reason why it's not my number one, which I'll get to, but I thought Scream 6 was fantastic. I thought it carried the story of Scream 5 perfectly with those new characters.
Mhm.
I continued to like the new characters a lot, except for Jenna Ortega's sister, that character.
Sam.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I guess it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, right.
She's not going to be in any of them anymore. And with that being said, I didn't hate her, but overall, like, all the characters were awesome, and I thought it did a really good job carrying on the theme of Scream, where it's basically just a play on what current horror is.
Mhm.
And the reveal at the end,
Mhm.
like, I wasn't quite sure who the ghost face would be up until the
Right.
very end. Then you find out, and it's a little bit different than what your normally is. But I just overall thought it was good. The story was fun. Facts were good. It was just the reason I don't have it number one is it is just more Scream, which
Mhm.
isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
But to be the number one, you have to have a big, something big.
Mhm.
But I couldn't complain. I'm definitely was happy because once you start getting into like the sixth installment of like a horror franchise, they're usually starting to go downhill by then.
Oh yeah.
But Scream's just been continuing to hold up through different directors, different characters. I don't know. I was really impressed with it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
and,
Mine's
go
ahead.
not to interrupt you there,
You're good.
but seeing Ghostface with a gun for the first time
Oh yeah.
was
yeah.
awesome. That
Yeah.
was pretty cool. That whole grocery store
Mhm.
scene. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree because that's next on my list. That I guess would be number 2, but really it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Scream 4 or Scream 5. Like I've said before, like there's not a bad Scream movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a big fan of 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I really didn't like the characters in 5, but I really, for the most part, enjoyed them in Scream 6. Like I felt like Scream 6 was a giant step up
Mm-hmm.
from 5. Because yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Sam in Scream 5. I like Tara, like I like Jenna Ortega's character.
Mm-hmm.
This one I feel like she wasn't in quite as much. It was more about Sam, but I didn't like Sam in 5, but I really liked her in 6.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, this one felt kind of fresh,
Yeah.
felt new, like from the opening scene where they kind of give us a whole thing
Yeah.
that they hadn't really done before. And yeah, after watching 6, I was very excited to see where it was going to go.
Right.
Which obviously now, hopefully nowhere. Hopefully that's just the end. I don't want them to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall I really like Scream 6. I definitely have my issues with it too. But I thought it was pretty solid.
Courtney Cox was a fucking badass in this one. like it was kind of like how Laurie was when she came back for the newer Halloween movies,
Yeah.
but like just I don't know, way cooler. She definitely held her ground, which I wasn't expecting her to fight
Yeah.
back so hard. But yeah, like what you were saying about you liked where this could be going, the story of this. So I won't say it for spoilers. I was intrigued because, like I said, I didn't dislike Sam, but I liked the story. I did like the story of what involved her, was where that was going, because that was
Right.
definitely very different for the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when the news. You might have talked about it on your last episode for the news, but you heard about the director dropped out.
Yeah, I did bring it up last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems like a whole shit show, and I'm there with you where I think it might be just time to at least put it on pause, because like the 2 main actresses are gone. The new director, which I was excited about, doesn't want to have anything to do with it, which I feel like there's probably a good reason why he's leaving. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want it to be fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've kind of touched on it since the news dropped about Melissa Barrera. But yeah, just the whole thing. The reason why she was fired, and then Ortega having scheduling conflicts the next day, her piecing out, and then yeah, the director now, like, what are you gonna do? Like, there's speculation that they could like reach out to Nev Campbell, or Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
People have been saying too, but I'm like, neither one of them. Nev Campbell I could never see her coming back after what they did to her in Scream 6. So they'd probably get a giant fuck you from Nev. And Matthew Lillard is way too supportive of his fellow actors, to probably even give that a thought.
Yeah, I think the ship has sailed for Matthew Lillard for
Right.
sure. I know he did talk about potentially coming back one of the earlier sequels. My problem is, like, Scream has kind of been like a whole satire on the corporate horror thing, and that's exactly what it's becoming.
Yeah.
Like, bunch of bullshit, bunch of politics. That's not what you want in your Scream. So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would, as much as I would love to see another Scream movie, like, I would rather not. Like, just have it end at 6. I'm sure they're gonna inevitably reboot it or do something in the future, but
that was kind of like what I was worried about with 6, and that's why I was so pleasantly surprised. I'm like, they're doing another one so quick after 5, like something's gonna go bad, and then it was good.
Right.
But now a bunch of bullshit's about to happen. So like they definitely need to pump the brakes and put that on it. I think that might be why it coming back was so awesome, because they did take a break from Scream. They weren't like playing it into the ground. It was probably at least a decade between 4 and 5, I would say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, between 3 and 4 was like, I forget. What was 3? 3 was 2000, I think, and then 4 was 2011.
Yeah.
Roughly. So yeah, about 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
And then yeah, from 2011 to, what was it, 2020, 21?
21, I think, was when.
So yeah, another 10 years or so.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to They're gonna. There's a lot of franchises that I'm a fan of that have been running into the ground, and I don't want Scream to become one of those.
Yeah. I agree because I mean, there's with the kind of big franchises, they get the success and then they just kind of throw pump them out like Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Halloween. They just threw they wanted to get them out as soon as possible
Yeah.
because of the hype and the money.
Yeah.
With Scream, it's been a solid franchise. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of some of them, but overall, as movies, they're still really good movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, we haven't had a bad Scream movie. So if they try to rush this, and just try to make money off it, it's gonna fucking fail.
Yeah.
Because like they don't have the actors for it now. They don't have the director for it. I'm sure they don't have a solid script.
Yeah.
That even the original one that needs to be rewritten now because these characters aren't there.
Yeah, because they definitely seem like they had a direction that they wanted to go, and they can't even do that whatsoever.
Yeah, like there's so many things that you wonder about, like their mom and her connection with Skeet and all this. Like, there's all these things that like I was really excited for a part 7 to kind of maybe get some of those answers.
Yeah.
But I would rather just not have the answers and not get a shit Scream movie.
Yeah. I guarantee like their next idea was like, oh, Matthew Lillard had a son. Let's bring that all in. But he's actually alive.
Yeah,
even
right.
though
Dun, dun, dun.
even though he was crushed under a 90s television.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I'm as much as I love Matthew Lillard, I've always been under the impression that Stu is dead.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was going to come back for Scream 3 originally. So that's where all these like fan theories have come from.
Yeah.
Because they were going to bring him back for that. But yeah, when Columbine happened and everything, they went a completely different route.
From the gist that I've been picking up too is Lillard's tired of being asked about it. So I think him himself is over. He's over.
Oh,
he's moved on. And he's got Five Nights at Freddy's going on now and everything. So
yeah, he gets to kick off a whole new franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he's if all this shit hadn't gone down, he'd be probably more inclined to come back, at least for the fans.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening. So yeah, Scream just needs to retire for a bit, unfortunately.
For sure.
All right, what do you got after that?
My number 1, which you could probably guess, Evil Dead Rise. Fucking masterpiece. Scream's my favorite horror franchise. Evil Dead's my second. So like the fact that my number 1, I got 2 great fucking Evil Dead and Scream movies in one year was awesome. I wasn't sure what to expect with Evil Dead, just because like another different director, and it's kind of getting convoluted a little bit now. But the way that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell were like getting behind it and everything, I was like my hype for it was getting more and more. And then once I had so much fun it's everything that I wanted out of an Evil Dead movie. It's kind of tied it in with made all the other ones kind of come together in like a perfect little bow. The gore was great. The action was great. It was funny. Like, I don't know. There's not one bad thing I can say about Evil Dead Rise. It was so much, and you don't get like a whole lot of. That was awesome that it was in the big hotel. It was kind of like the movie I can think of that really has that same concept as kind of like The Raid.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking
not anything the same, but just like in a big
the high rise.
Yeah. I thought that concept was awesome. Just they got him out of the cabin, put it someplace different. It was a really good time.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. That's also on my list.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put it number 1 just because it's Evil Dead's my favorite franchise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, of course that's gonna be number 1.
Yeah.
But again, like my 5 are interchangeable. But yeah, Evil Dead Rise was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It was another one that I kind of set my expectations a little lower because 2013 Evil Dead is my favorite. So I didn't want to go in expecting it to be just as good.
Yeah.
So expectations were a little lower, but I had a really, really good time with it. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It is the one I gave the highest rating to on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
So it, I guess would be number one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Like it started off really good. I like the characters. I like the setting, and then yeah, it kind of gives a throwback or incorporates the kind of OGs as well.
Yeah.
Which I really really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall it's it was a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
So
The director understood the assignment for
oh
sure.
yeah,
You got your chainsaw still,
Mhm.
I think the car was weaseled in there
Mhm.
somehow. I'm just gonna say the whole concept of them being 3 Necronomicons just to kind of make everything fit together.
Mhm.
Fucking genius.
Yeah, right.
I'm a big stickler on canon stuff. And the fact that not that the other movies in the show were kind of, too convoluted. I guess convoluted when I said earlier was kind of a little bit too harsh, but like just how everything fits. It's a simple answer. There's 3 books. There's 3 Necronomicons. That's
Right.
why this is all happening in different places.
Mhm.
Great. I'm sold.
Yeah,
It
right.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked. They got Bruce Campbell in there, just a little snippet of him,
Yeah.
to kind of keep that continuity too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like for sure that that's Ash, but
I
if
think
you
it
know,
is.
you know, type
I-
deal.
I'm looking forward to where it goes from. I want as corny as it is to say, I want my Avengers Evil Dead. I want all of the characters.
Oh, I know,
At least
right?
if I want Bruce at least one more time and interact with these other characters, and I'll be happy. He doesn't have to be in anymore ever again. I just want to one more time interact and just I don't know. I just think it would be so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard different things, but I'm pretty sure he's retired from the character. I know that there was talk of like a cartoon to bring those characters together,
Mm-hmm.
which he would have, of course, voice Ash. So that would be one way to do it. But I know I just saw the other day. I think it was a tweet that he had put that you're not going to have to wait till 2033 for more Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Fuck yeah! Like, let's go."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some shit in the works. What that is, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I would respect his decision if not, but I think he likes the he loves the franchise enough. He knows how much the fans appreciate him. I think that there's a little bit that could at least get him back one more time, and I think that would be great.
right?
But like, I just want to keep gushing on about it a little bit. The opening was awesome,
Yeah.
especially that big opening, like Evil Dead, like after the big
Oh, yeah,
thing
the title
happened.
card?
The title
Yeah.
card was awesome. Thought it was a great way to start. The actors amazing. They even once they became the Deadites,
Mhm.
I won't say who, but they were perfect, creepy and funny at the same time. The mom stole the show, I think.
Oh yeah, she's like my favorite Deadite of all time. Now.
Yeah, the whole the cheese grater thing.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, it was so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was another one I was worried that the trailers showed too much. And it may have,
Yeah,
but there was still a lot of really good scenes and dialogue that wasn't in the trailer.
yeah,
So whenever, I saw and heard that, it was like, fuck yeah. Like
yeah,
there's so much good stuff to it.
yeah. Yeah, I want to gush about it more, but it's hard to keep going without starting to spoil things. So
Yeah. But yeah, that's our top or our favorites of 2023. I did want to kind of see what we are most looking forward to in 2024. But yeah, as far as our 2023 picks, what do you guys think? You agree, disagree? Like I said, let us know. Hit us up on social media, send us an email, bggpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what some of your favorites are, because we always like hearing other people's opinions as well. It's always a fun time. Get that interaction there. But yeah, I looked up here on IMDb the current roster for movies coming out in 2024. So didn't really look at these too much beforehand. Figured it'd be a little surprise. But it looks like they are by release date as of right now, at least. So looks like Night Swim is our first one, January 5th, which I have meant to watch the trailer and I haven't yet. But
I have watched the trailer and I am super intrigued. Haunted swimming pool?
yeah, right.
That's not been done before. Sign me up. It's just goofy enough They have me on board.
Yeah.
It looks good. It doesn't look super corny, so I'm really happy to check that out whenever that happens. It looks like it's one of those, like you were telling before, like one of those good early in the year movies that
Mhm.
you're not quite sure how they're going to land.
Right.
But it looks like it'd probably be a good time.
Yeah.
So the director I can't remember what else he's done. I think he's done something else.
Bryce McGuire. I see Wyatt Russell's in the cast, so I'm
Yeah.
already sold on it.
Yeah, I love Wyatt Russell.
Let's see. Bryce McGuire. I don't know.
No, maybe not.
That's writer. Oh, this is his first directing gig.
Okay, fair enough.
And yeah, writing, I'm not really sure. Nothing I recognize. So yeah, kind of unknown. Be interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, a woman swimming in her pool at night is terrorized by an evil spirit.
because like
I'm down.
everyone's had that. There's two creepy moments in your life. Like if you're at like a Chuck E. Cheese or some place with like tubes,
Mm-hmm.
you always sometimes get that creepy feeling like something's coming behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming pools are the same, especially at night
Oh yeah.
or in the lake. You sometimes you get that feeling that something's coming up underneath of you or gonna grab your feet or whatever.
Right.
That's probably gonna happen in this. So.
Oh yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Let's see. February 2nd is Imaginary. A woman returns to her childhood home to discover that the imaginary friend she left behind is very real and unhappy that she abandoned him. I've heard things about this movie, but I can't really remember any of them. But it seems kind of cool.
I don't think I've heard of this.
Yeah, just a kind of imaginary friend that comes to life.
I like the concept.
Yeah, I don't know. See if there's some trailers or something for it, but
Yeah.
not too familiar with that. Up next is Lisa Frankenstein. I think this is just the one from. She's not on there. I want to say Diablo Cody.
Does that
has
say
something to do with that.
directed by Zelda Williams?
Yes.
Okay. That
Let's
has me
see.
intrigued.
Yeah, coming of age love story about a teenager and her crush who happens to be a corpse. After a set of horrific circumstances bring him back to life, the two embark on a journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts.
Just
But I'm pretty sure.
warm bodies too.
Oh God, I hope not. I hate warm bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, written by Diablo Cody.
Okay. That's Jennifer's Body.
Yeah,
right?
Jennifer's
Yeah.
Body, Juno.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan of Jennifer's Body, but I hate the dialogue like so much.
It's been
So
so long since I've watched it.
Hopefully this one's a little better. But yeah, cool. I don't know. It's not quite in my my wheelhouse of things I like, but I'll check it out.
It's in someone's wheelhouse.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm also just really. That's cool that Zelda Williams is directing. I didn't even know she directed movies.
Maybe this is her first one too. Let's see. Director. No, 11. Oh. Music videos.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
probably her
music
first
videos.
big one.
Yeah. Kappa Kappa Die. Looks like that was her previous one. Yeah. I don't know.
Cool.
Interesting. So February 16th, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. I'm fucking ready.
Yeah.
So
I need
ready.
to watch Dude,
Dude,
it.
it's so fun. So fun. This one, Tigger is missing from the first one. He's in this one.
Okay.
They kind of redesigned the characters. 'Cause, I mean, the first one is obviously it's two guys wearing masks.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be Winnie the Pooh and
Yeah.
Piglet. So this one's a little better design. I think it has a little bigger budget. So hey, just give me more ridiculousness and blood and gore, and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
April 5th, my birthday. The First Omen. This one I'm not sure about. So this is a prequel to The Omen.
And they already have one of those or two of those?
No, that's the Exorcist. It does.
Okay.
The Omen, they do not.
Okay.
There's sequels, but they've never done a prequel. And I'm not sure why this is a thing. So it says a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith, uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate. So that description, sure, but if we're going by the Omen,
Right off the bat, we know that she failed.
yeah, that. But then like the Omen, like Damien was birthed by a Jekyll. So like, what is this going to be like? How a Jekyll gets impregnated by Satan? Like what the fuck? It's
Yeah.
so it's such a weird thing. Like maybe it's going further back than
Yeah.
like what I'm thinking. But it's just another one. Like I don't. Maybe it'll be awesome. I don't know. But
Yeah.
if there's a list of things that I'm like excited about, a prequel to The Omen is not one of them. But we'll see. See how it goes.
Yeah.
One I am excited for, May 17th, The Strangers Chapter 1.
Yeah. I've liked every Stranger movie. I think,
yeah.
There's three.
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
I've watched
This
it,
is
but I've loved
this
them.
would be the third, but this is a reboot now.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm a little worried about because the first one is so good.
Yeah.
And this one is essentially going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
So for this chapter 1, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's good. I don't have high expectations for it, but I am excited that if this is good, I'm excited for the sequels because it's a trilogy.
Yeah.
So, Strangers Pray at Night was okay, but it just wasn't nearly as good as the first
Oh
one.
yeah.
So I'm hopeful that this is a kind of fresh start and we get, like I said, I'm not expecting this to be as good as the first one, but even if it's decent, as long as we get, some more cool Strangers movies.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. I'm always a little bit skeptical with reboots because like it's not like there was a huge amount of lore for the other two to begin with. They
Yeah,
could have
right.
just kept it. It didn't even need to be a reboot
Yeah, that
because that
kinda
first
threw
one
me
is
off, too.
really good. So
Right.
like I don't know.
Yeah, when it was first announced, I was very kind of confused by it too.
Yeah.
Like, I get the second one's not as good. Like I still enjoy it, but it's
Yeah.
not overall. It's not a very good movie. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's not anything that like put a nail in the coffin of the franchise. Like just make another one. I guess the way it ended kind of could have, but
Yeah.
whatever. So I guess maybe that's why. But we'll see how it goes. But hopefully it's good. Let's see, The Watchers, June 7th. Follows Mina, a 28-year-old artist, as she gets stranded in an extensive, immaculate forest in Western Ireland. After finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside 3 strangers, stalked by mysterious creatures each night.
Is that director say is Shama?
Ishana Shyamalan.
What if any relation?
Is that a relative of M. Night? Yeah, well, known for Old, second unit or assistant director. I'm gonna say perhaps.
I would, yeah. If they
Yeah,
were,
parents M. Night Shyamalan.
oh, cool.
So, yeah, it's the child. I'm not sure what they're.
You start feeling old when like directors you like start having children that are also directing horror movies.
But yeah, I was unaware that that he had a child,
Yeah.
or that they were in the business. So, yeah, we'll see how that
Cool.
goes. That's interesting. Next one's Quiet Place Day One. So a prequel to Quiet Place. Another pretty solid movies. So
Yeah, I love the Quiet Place franchise, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
the only kind of questionable thing is that John Krasinski is not directing it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
So this one I'm not looking forward to. So Speak No Evil. Have you seen Speak No Evil? It's another foreign film. I think it was on Shudder.
I don't think I have.
It's one of those movies that it's not fun. It's not an enjoyable watch. It's a good movie, but like the character, like I just wanted to strangle the characters the whole
Yeah.
movie. And that it's just really fucked up, like the shit that happens. So it's getting an American remake, starring James McAvoy, Mackenzie Davis, and a few others.
James McAvoy has my attention.
Yeah, mine too. But it's just one of those movies where I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like, that one exists, that's fine, but like, why do you need to make an American remake of this? Because it's not something that is, it's not a feel good movie by
Yeah.
any means. And there's not really much you can do to change, like, unless they're kind of taking it and doing their whole different thing with it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know anything about it. I heard Speak No Evil
Mhm.
and just assumed it was a sequel to that Kane horror movie.
Oh, see no evil.
Yeah, I just assumed
It'd be
that's
better
what
if
it was.
That'd be so much better if it was. No, it is not though, unfortunately. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a good movie, well acted and all that, but it's a downer of a fucking movie. So we'll see how that goes too. Next one though, very fucking excited for
Oh, yeah.
Alien Romulus. So the new Alien movie by Fede Alvarez.
Yeah, that has me stoked. If I'm not gonna get an Alien sequel from Neil Blomkamp, that person. Fede is a good runner up.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Like his Evil Dead is one of my favorite Evil Dead movies.
Mhm.
So like him doing an Alien is gonna be, I'm assuming it's probably gonna be amazing.
I'm hoping so, yeah. So yeah, this takes place between Alien and Aliens. It says young people from a distant world must face the most terrifying life form in the universe. Sold. That's all I need.
Yeah,
Sold.
let's do it. It's
Give me Alien
they're
with Fede Alvarez.
avoiding the whole Prometheus and Covenant storyline. So just to give me a good Alien story, I'm fine with that.
Give me some legit xenomorphs
Yeah.
and some craziness.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Saw 11, another unneeded fucking sequel.
I still haven't seen Saw X.
I'm curious how you'll feel about it, because I liked it to an extent. There's a lot of hype for it for
Yeah.
some reason, but it was one of those it's 10 movies in, and we're going back to between 1 and 2
Yeah.
with the same actors are cool. It's cool to see Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith.
Yeah.
They've very obviously aged, and they don't do anything to hide it.
Yeah.
They give Shawnee Smith the worst fucking wig ever, to try to match her look from Saw 2, and it's just that, like, those little things that just kind of take you out of it.
Here's the thing. I know what I'm getting into when I'm watching Saw. That stuff doesn't bother me. Saw has not so much the first. I think the first is just a straight up really solid classic horror.
Absolutely.
But ever since, they're just popcorn movies. They're they're Fast and the Furious for horror fans. I just want to see the kills. None of the other stuff matters to me.
True.
It's just fun. It's just a fun watch when you have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, I mean, that's the reason I went to see it, was for the kills. But yeah, it's just one of those things, like, it's another one they're just trying to cash in on it.
yeah.
Like, so that they brought those characters back and they've come up with this new story that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I feel like they were not expecting, because I heard Saw X did pretty well.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I feel like they weren't expecting that, and we're like, shit, we need to get another one.
Yeah,
going
right.
Soon, back to what they were doing before, but like, whatever. I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
Of course, yeah. There's no story details or anything yet. We'll see how it goes.
I even didn't even mind Spiral. I understand it's not a great movie,
Mhm.
but even I enjoyed watching Spiral. So
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
it doesn't
mind it.
take much as for Saw to enjoy,
Right,
make me
right.
enjoy it.
Yeah, Sam. It's
Chris Rock's not in it, so
yeah.
good.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it's not a bad movie, but I don't understand the hype for Saw X.
Yeah.
There's just too many things that, like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. So yeah, we'll see how Saw 11 is, but whatever. I'll see it regardless. It doesn't matter. So 16 is Smile 2. Not sure how I feel about this one either. Smile's it's a fine movie. It's another overhyped one, in my opinion.
I do think it was overhyped, but I really liked it. If it would have been on my top 5 for last year,
Right.
If we did one,
Yeah.
they didn't really like go too much into the lore, so I can see room for a sequel. I'd be down for that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Smile was one that it got me by the end, because I wasn't expecting kind of what happens, or what kind of, I don't want to say twist, but like, most of it felt very much like It Follows to me. But then towards the end, whenever we see more stuff, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So yeah, we'll see how this is. I didn't hate Smile, so whatever. Give me a sequel. It's fine. One I'm very hyped for, Terrifier 3, Christmas movie.
Yes. That would have been my number one for last year.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2.
Yeah.
I never I didn't watch I haven't watched Terrifier 1 yet. I've started it,
You don't
never
have to.
finished it, but like Terrifier 2 was so much fun.
Mhm.
Give me more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one that I'm not a fan of the first one. Like I waited so long to watch the second one because I didn't like the first one so
Yeah.
much. But then when I finally watched the second one, it was a whole other thing, and I
Yeah.
really, really liked it.
I think I watched one of the All Hallows Eve
Mhm.
movies, and
The first
like-
one.
probably I
Yeah.
I like the character in that.
Yeah, I don't think Art's in the second one, so it had to be the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You skipped over one that has my attention, the Wolfman. Lee
I didn't
Winnell.
know there's not a poster for it. Yeah, I think I brought that up last week. Yeah, Lee Winnell's doing Wolfman with it doesn't have him listed on there. I can't remember his name now.
I'm so glad that Lee Winnell is getting what he deserves. I think he's the unsung hero of a lot of stuff. He's been recently like Invisible Man was great.
Oh yeah.
Upgrade was great. I think he did Insidious 3.
Yes.
That was awesome. I like that more than the new Insidious.
Oh, okay.
So like but he's mostly known for a writer for all these years.
Mhm.
He's kind of riding James Wan's coattails, but like he's been doing some really good shit. So
Oh yeah.
after Invisible Man, I'm definitely hyped for Wolfman.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. It has Christopher Abbott. So if you saw Possessor, I forget what else he's in.
Oh yeah, the
but
guy
I
that
think-
looks like Jon Snow but not.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I think he's going to be the Wolfman, whatever the character name is that turns
Okay.
into Wolfman. But yeah, I didn't even realize that was in there. So that's October 25th is Wolfman. But yeah, they've been trying to do all these fucking Universal movies and The Mummy and Dracula Untold and all this bullshit. And yeah, Lee Winnell just fucking rips out an Invisible Man. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I think now
So-
that they're stepping away from trying to force a shared universe and
Mhm.
just letting people make a good movie, that's good.
Yeah, right.
But I'm a little concerned because it's the same guy making these good Universal monster movies. Like, is he gonna be on Universal monster duty for a long time? I hope not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's been what 4 years now since Invisible Man. So
Just about, yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
I want an upgrade too, or something else
Oh,
in
yeah.
that world.
Yeah, that's another good one. So December 20. That's right, Christmas. December 25th of 2024 is Nosferatu, which I'm pretty fucking stoked for too.
Yes, sir.
Directed by Robert Eggers. Has he's not even listed on there. That's weird.
Who?
Fucking Pennywise.
Oh, Bill Skarsgård.
Yes. I don't know why I blanked on his name. Yeah, he's playing Nosferatu.
I thought Willem Dafoe was.
Willem Dafoe is playing another character, I believe.
By the way, I'm not disappointed if not. They're
I don't know why I
both
clicked
of
on
those
that.
would be a killer Nosferatu.
Let me double check. I'm almost positive. Yeah, Defoe is playing whoever, Professor Albin Eberhard von Frankenstein.
Okay.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nicholas Holt, Bill Skarsgård. Yeah, Count Orlok.
Okay.
Lily Rose Depp is like the main female lead. So yeah,
I'm stoked.
right? Yeah, there's been like a couple images put out so far, but nothing too much yet. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, and I hope it's good. And the last time we podcast, we were talking about like those upcoming directors that are all, like the ones that are just on the borderline of being legendary.
Mhm.
He might be for already past that for some people, but he's very close for me. If this is awesome,
Smash.
he'll be. That'll be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, out of anything, that's probably the one of the ones I'm most excited for. It sucks I have to wait like a whole year for it, but
Yeah.
hopefully it's worth it. Jordan Peele has a new one in the works. Nothing really. It's not even titled yet. Untitled fourth film.
I have a theory on that. It
Oh,
could
yeah?
be off. They did announce recently that he's doing a project with Hideo Kojima. Metal
Oh,
Gear.
that's right. Yeah.
I know the game's a thing, but I keep seeing stuff that it's also going to have film stuff tied in with it.
Okay.
So I could see him definitely making a film that ties in with that the universe of the. I think it's called Overdose, is what it's
Okay.
called.
Huh.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Interesting. Then we get like the usual fucking list of things that don't have release dates yet. So,
Maxine just got one
oh, did it?
the other day. I can't remember what it is though. It's like in
Oh.
a couple months, like April or something.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that. Hell yeah!
While
Yeah,
you
I'm
talk,
excited.
I'll look.
I'm excited for Maxine though. Been excited for it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, me too. I loved Pearl. What's the second one called? I forget.
X was the first one, then Pearl.
X, then Pearl. Yeah, I get it mixed up.
Yeah.
I love them both. So
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Pearl, just because I was expecting more craziness like X.
May 10th is Maxine.
Oh hell yeah! All right, cool. But I'm excited for the third one here for Maxine. But yeah, Pearl's another one I wanted to watch again because I feel like I probably will like it more.
I've grown to like it more after the first viewing. I started thinking of it less as a horror movie, and just as like a film, and I started liking it more. Like thinking of it that way.
Yeah, I think my problem with it, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah,
like obviously it's a prequel to X, but I wasn't expecting it to be a prequel. Like however long, 60 years before. I thought it would be like a kind of more a bigger timeline.
Yeah.
Rather than like, I don't know, it seems like a couple days that it goes over and that's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still a really well made movie, and performances were fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says Return to Silent Hill. I'm not sure how much of that I believe. I would love another Silent Hill movie. I guess it's in post production, so we'll see if it gets a release date for this upcoming year.
So it's a direct sequel to the first two. Is the second one even a sequel to the first one? I don't.
Yeah,
it is. I've never watched that
Sean
one.
Bean in it.
Okay.
Well, it's not a good one, but
Jon Snow's in one of them, isn't he?
He's also in the Return to Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, that's what this one's called. What the hell is it? Silent Hill something other. I forget what the second one's called.
Something generic.
Silent Hill
Requiem or
Annihilation. I can't think of what the fuck it's called. But yeah, the second one, he is in it. So yeah, hopefully this one is a return to form for the first one, because that one was fucking awesome, and I really like it. Witchboard is getting a remake. What else we got? Some stuff. Just a bunch of stuff I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is you don't really get announcements for horror movies way in advance anymore.
Yeah.
Well, not. I mean,
it depends.
Did, but like,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the big ones typically they'll set release dates ahead of time. Oh yeah, Conjuring Last Rites. That's in pre-production, so it'll be a little bit till we get that. Salem's Lot.
That was supposed to be out like 2 years ago, and then it got pushed to this year, and then to who knows when. And
yeah, right. Yeah, all this shit that's like in production or doesn't have a release date yet is shit that like we could talk about it now, and 10 years from now it still won't be released.
The good thing, I'm not super. I'm a little bit, but not super nervous about Salem's Lot that it got delayed because of quality. From my understanding, they delayed it because they want to put it on Max because of all the delays for the strike. There's going to be a lot of nothing, so they're saving stuff to put on Max so people have to watch. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the rest of these are just not really much of anything. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some gems, potential gems coming up in 2024. Oh, hello, cat. Cat claws straight to the chest.
Oh, that was in my flesh.
Yep. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Little cat scratch fever to end out 2023. Fucking cat. But yeah, definitely some good ones to keep an eye on. I'm hoping for the best. Doesn't seem quite as stacked so far as we've had the past couple of years, but yeah, again with horror movies,
Yeah, it's like you get one like film festival and someone you never heard of out of nowhere releases something sick. So
yeah, right. So yeah, we'll see, but I'd say at least the past 2 years have been pretty solid for horror films. So
What would you rate if you were going to rate out of 10 for 2023? What would you have given it?
ooh, just based on movies,
Yeah.
Probably like at least a solid 8.
Yeah. I'd probably go like 7.5.
Okay.
Nothing as much as I liked a lot of these movies and there was really good ones. I wasn't fucking blown away
Right.
by much.
Yeah, it's kind of how where I'm at too.
A couple things, but
yeah. I think there's a lot of solid horror movies.
yeah.
But yeah, there's not really like ones that were like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Which I mean we don't get those too often.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing.
Wasn't
just really good
It
ones.
wasn't a disappointing year by any means.
No.
For sure.
No, there's a lot. And like I mean, there could be one out there that we just haven't seen.
Yeah. I also haven't seen Thanksgiving yet.
True.
Super ashamed.
True. Oh, it happens. Time and stuff.
Yeah.
Busy time of year. But yeah. So again, you guys listening, watching, let us know. What do you guys most looking forward to? What's the horror movies you're looking forward to the most in 2024? Are there any of them that we listed? Are there ones that we don't know about? Let us know. Hit us up on the social medias. Send us an email. Let us know. But yeah, I think I'm about tapped out for 2023. What
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah. Let me see here. I do want to give a shout out to House of Fall of Usher. Not a movie, but it was
Oh,
great
fuck
horror
yeah.
this year.
And he stroked a little. Yes, absolutely. That was so I reviewed that. I don't do TV shows
Yeah.
usually. Wow, I'm dying over here. I did review that and I gave it a perfect score.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I gave it a for Letterboxd is 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we were throwing TV shows in our list, that would be number 1.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Probably for me too, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite Mike Flanagan production
Yeah.
that he's ever done. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It just hit on all cylinders.
It really
like
did. Yeah.
all the acting was great. I thought it was great because there was no filler. Like each episode was a story. So
Right.
like they had to keep it on point to exactly what it was about and just keep it moving. So like nothing felt too long, nothing felt too rushed. All the acting was fantastic. And I'm not super familiar with all of, Edgar Allan Poe's work.
Mhm.
So like it was for me, like a lot of it was a surprise. So
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I was probably familiar with most of it. But I just thought it was really unique. Like to have like the main story, but then each episode is kind of based on a different
Yeah.
story from Edgar Allan Poe, and how they just incorporated it all, and it just worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the acting, the visuals, there was some gnarly shit in there for sure, and yeah, the whole thing, I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Mike Flanagan's got himself a group of great actors that
Oh
he's
yeah,
brought along the way. So
yeah,
I was worried that we'd start to get to like the whole American Horror Story deal. It's like same actors, blah, 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 but they crush it every single time. Their
Mhm.
characters always feel way different. So
right, yeah. And yeah, I mean the American Horror Stories, like the actors are always good. That show suffers from terrible writers.
yeah,
So fortunately, Flanagan doesn't have that issue.
yeah.
Knock on wood, not yet.
Thankfully, he has he's earned like full control of all his productions, which has been
Yeah.
working out pretty well for him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do at Amazon.
Oh yeah,
Because yeah, it'll be still just he'll be able to do gnarly shit doesn't have to be really like censored or edited down or anything. So
Yeah. I'm ready for another movie by him.
yeah,
As much as I love binge watching his series,
Mhm.
I want a good solid movie by him again.
I agree. Yeah, I do. I enjoy the series, but yeah, the movies are always a fun time too.
Yeah.
So absolutely. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. We're gonna wrap it up and throw a bow on it for 2023.
Sounds good.
But I appreciate you coming to hang out again.
Yeah.
Being my co-host here for our last episode of 2023. So appreciate you
Yeah,
as
thanks
always.
for having me again. It's always fun being on.
For sure.
Yep.
We'll do it again in 2024.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, everyone listening, watching again, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Like I said, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, whatever the equivalent is to whichever social media you use. Go do that. And like I said, as far as the audio, throw us a follow, give us a 5-star review if you be so kind. I know it's I hate even asking for it. It's one of those things, but like the effect that it has on the show is really it's a big effect. So if you guys don't mind doing that, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for another week of Blood, Gore, and Ghouls. Like I said, be sure to follow on the socials. All the links will be in the show notes. But until next week and next year, I've been your host, Ian Van Gogh, and you've been
Tomato.
There you go. That's Tomato.
I forget who I am sometimes.
It happens. But yo, everyone have a fantastic new year. Have a ghoulish week. And you all stay safe out there.
They could catch you.